Hi, my name is Ken Gaines. I'm from Oregon City, Oregon now, and you're in the music room. So are we talking about this first, or are we just singing?
You're going to sing for
We're going to sing
You're going to
here.
sing for me, baby. It's your guitar. Your guitar isn't...
It's not up.
There we go.
And we have that on, that's being recorded, so we can tell my first mistake. This whole process is about making mistakes. It truly is. And being good with it. All right, or being okay with making mistakes. All right? And there will be more. I'm feeling like a brand new man. I'm listening to a different band. Ever since you came into my life, heartache took a holiday, left without a word to say. Ever since you came into my life, and ever since I heard you speak my name, I knew I would never be the same. And ever since I gazed into those baby blue eyes, giving me a glimpse of paradise, I'm grinning everywhere I go, telling everyone I know. Ever since you came into my life, that's when my lead guitar player takes. That's why you keep a lead guitar player with you, by the way. You give him that space. Then you take it back. Looking at the list of things I've done, loving you has got to be the one that's turning everything I touch to silver and gold, giving me a song to soothe my soul. So now we're staying home at night, snuggling by candlelight. Ever since you came into my life, I'm holding on with all my might. Oh, I'm hugging everything in sight. Ever since you came into my life, ever since you came into my life. A little swing there for you. Thank you very much.
Well, all I can say is welcome back. You're home.
I know, yeah.
You are part of the foundation of In the Music Room, and it is so special to have you here again. Even though you moved away from us, we'll forgive you as long as you keep coming back.
I'll keep coming back.
And as you can see, you're very well loved. We have a full room for a radio show today on a Sunday afternoon.
And it's appreciated. Thank you, all of you.
So ever since you came into my life, that's one of your songs that you wrote. When did you write that one?
Oh,
What
gosh.
year?
That's probably 15, maybe 20 years ago I wrote that song.
Oh, great song.
It's an opener song. Mm-hmm. And I intentionally wrote it as an opener song. I mean, I like the song. I really do. And I was intentionally trying to write a swingy song using some chords that I'd already been messing with. And but I wrote it as a song to open a show with, without stating any other purpose. And that's it. That's what that song is about.
Yeah. You have another song called Gotta Get a Little Messy. Fill us in on that one. Details, please.
Details. Well, it's half of my philosophy in life. I was studying the songs of Roger Miller. So musically, that's where it was going. That's what I was working with. Or restudying Roger Miller. And specifically the way Roger would phrase. He's had some crazy phrasing. You just kind of keep going down, 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 like that. And I thought, how do you do that and still make it work? So that was musically the idea behind it. And half of my philosophy in life in one song. And I think it's impossible for me anyway, to state my entire philosophy in life with one song without just wearing you folks out. So, taking stages. Gotta get a little messy to get the most out of life. Whether making love, cooking up a barbecue, lick your lips, lick hers too. To get the most out of life, you gotta get it all over you. Gotta go outside, break a sweat, walk barefoot, get your feet wet. Smell the rain and the bacon and the coffee brewing. Gotta stub your toes, skin your knees, lose your way, lose your keys. Taste your tears and the tears of your loved ones too. Gotta get a little messy, get the most out of life. Whether making love or cooking up a barbecue, lick your fingers, lick hers too. To get the most out of life, you gotta get it all over you. Gotta fall in love more than once. Gotta bust your ass more than twice. Gotta find a good friend, or 2 or 3 or 4. Gotta hook a fine bass, 5 or 6 pounds or more. Then you give it a kiss, throw it back in the water. Take a picture if you can, let the world know that you caught her. Then sit on the bank and sip a beer. Thank you, lucky stars, you're still here. But don't forget to brush off your muddy butt before you get back into your truck. Now, baby, that's messy. I know. I'll clean it up. Gotta go fishing one more time. You gotta fall in love more than once. Gotta bust your ass more than twice. You gotta lose a good friend, or 2 or 3 or 4. Gotta miss that big old bass, 14 pounds or more. Gotta get a little messy to get the most out of life. But whether making love or cooking up a barbecue, lick your lips, woo-hoo-hoo. To get the most out of life, you gotta get it all over you. Yeah, get the most out of life, just get it all over you. Get the most out of life, you gotta get it all over you. And I'm paraphrasing Molly Ivins with the name of the first line of that song. So if you are fans of Molly Ivins, I am as well. And she couldn't say that, but she did. So
there you go.
Often better than I did.
Oh, nobody says it as well as you can. You know that.
I've been hanging with a lot of great songwriters, so
yeah,
I'm gonna.
Yeah, for anybody who wonders, Ken's been spending some time at Kerrville here, and you're just a natural teacher anyway, so you've got it all going on. Close to the Fire. That's your next song you're going to do for us.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
That song was a long time coming. I mean, a long time in writing. I rewrote it, I think, 3 or 4 times over a period of several years. And it was one of those songs that was tragically flawed, and I knew it. And I threw it out there in front of an audience. And I still loved the idea, and I hung on to the musical idea, except for the bridge. The bridge that was one of the last things I wrote, and then I thought, yes, it's complete now. Mm-hmm. But does everybody know what a bridge in a song is? Mm-hmm. Okay, a bridge in a song is, if you don't, it's a musical part that departs from the regular verse chorus pattern that I set up right from the beginning. And a lot of times you write a bridge in there. Most of them are kind of short, but just gives you a little bit of musical relief and also advance the story. And in this case, it goes from that bridge right into a very singable chorus, hint, hint, that you can all sing along with. Okay, so but that's what this is about, and it's a song for my mama. I'm going to tune properly.
He just changed the strings today, so we might have to do that a few times.
Tune? You bet I will.
Yeah.
But y'all got new strings.
Woo-hoo!
These strings were so bad after being out there in the hill country for outside for a week. It's just destroyed. One for my mama. My mama told me when I was young, boy, you're gonna burn yourself someday. It was a favorite speech down at the bonfire beach. I couldn't seem to stay away. I love to feel the heat on the back of my seat. I could watch those flames all night. I'd see colors and traces of fantasy faces glowing out of the firelight. 'Cause I was born to stand close to the fire. Born to stand close to the fire. Ooh, close to the fire. My mama told me a little later on, boy, you're gonna take a fall someday. You're always looking too close, feeling too much, giving your heart away. Mama was right, I've cried all night, hidden from the light of the day. But when I think about all of the things I've learned, I wouldn't have it any other way. 'Cause I was born to stand close to the fire. Born to stand close to the fire. Ooh, close to the fire. Take it, Wayne. Closer to the candle, closer to the sun, closer to the stars at night. Closer to the question, closer to the edge, closer to the light. I was born to stand close to the fire. Born to stand close to the fire. One more time. Born to stand close to the fire. Ooh, close to the fire. Ooh, close to the fire. Ooh, Thank you. Thank you. And that's one I use a lot in teaching, especially when I'm starting out with young folks, because I'll sing that song for them. And it's one of those songs you can, people don't know you, they don't know who you are, and you're there to teach them songwriting. And so you start out with something, well, here's a song I wrote, and you sing that. It's not a bad song, and it's kind of dramatic. And at the end of it, and I say, so what was the name of that song? And invariably they would say, Close to the Fire. I said, yeah, how do you know that? Mm-hmm. And they said, well, you sang it a lot. I said, yes, I sang it a lot on purpose. So you would know the name of that song. And next time, you could, even if you don't remember the entire line of it, you think that fire song, that Close to the Fire song, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Those things are intentional.
Well, so Ken, you were always a fixture in Houston for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And now you're in Oregon. But originally, in case y'all didn't know, he was a Mississippi boy.
Yeah.
Biloxi.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the name of your next song.
Mm. Well, if Helen says it's my next song, I guess it's going to be the next song.
That is. So, I would say self-explanatory.
It's self-explanatory? I guess, yeah. I mean, my mom's whole side of the family is from Biloxi. And the only song I ever knew that had the word Biloxi in it when I was growing up was a little song that Mom and her sisters would sing, and they'd sing, when it's night time in Biloxi, I'm dreaming of the old nights on the seawall with you. And that was the Biloxi song of my youth. And it didn't occur to me to write a song about Biloxi until I was graduated from high school and my family was moving back to Biloxi, which was my parents' home. Dad was Air Force. We moved all over the place. And I'm glad I didn't write it that year, because shortly after we got back, turning in 1970, and I got a brand new Tom Rush album, and I was a brand new Tom Rush fan, and looking at this album and flipping it over, and damn, there's a song called Biloxi on it. Written by some guy by the name of Jesse Winchester, whoever he was. You know. And beautiful song. So I thought, well, and then Tom had it, Jesse had it, and about 4 or 5 years later, Jimmy Buffett recorded it. So my Biloxi song was just off the table. Went to write other things. But I did get to hear Jesse 3 times live and meet him twice and talk to him. And he's a shy guy, but he if you were sincere, he would open up. And the third time I was talking to him, I told him that he was a hero of mine, but I hated him. And he said, what? I said, that Biloxi song. He says, you don't like that song? I said, man, that's a great song. You're from Memphis. My family's from Biloxi. Should have been mine. He got a kick out of it. Says, hey, it's been 25, 30 years since I wrote that song. Time to write another one. I said, all right, we'll work on it. Said, I'll even give you a hint about writing a song about Biloxi. He said, don't try to rhyme Biloxi. Drove all night, I'm tired as hell. Should have stopped along the way in some hotel. I see the water, I catch the smell of old Biloxi. It's been so long since I left this town. I take the beach road, though it slows me down. Nice to know that it's all still around for me to see. Biloxi, always coming back to you. Biloxi, sometimes I swear it's the only thing to do. Your small town nights set my heart ablaze. My dreams would vanish in those long hot southern days. Pack my bags, set my gaze on foreign shores. I chase my dreams, seize the days. Every now and then, you know, it seems I've gone astray. In those times I find my way back to your doors. Biloxi, always coming back to you. Biloxi, sometimes I swear it's the only thing to do. It's 2 a.m. The tide is out. Water's muddy and the wind is hot. Like an old lover's kiss, it makes me feel like nothing's changed. Oh, the sand come blowing through my toes. Like everything else in life, it just comes and goes. Leaves me standing here again, calling your name. Biloxi, always coming back to you. Biloxi, sometimes I swear it's the only thing to do. Biloxi, I'm always coming back to you. And Jesse Winchester said, "The stars can see Biloxi, the stars can find their faces in the sea."
I Really, really nice song. Very heartfelt. And then you go on the border. And that's
right.
a little bit different story, isn't it?
It is a real different story. You've heard it before, haven't you?
I might
You
have.
want the
I would love for everybody else to know that.
All right.
You know.
Well, and I will tune while we're doing this. So, how many of you have been down to Terlingua, Texas?
Yes.
Okay. I wrote this on my way home from one of my trips to Terlingua, and I used to go down there for about 10 years. A couple times a year, I'd go and play a long, extended weekend. And you'd start off in Lajitas where you made the money, and then you go to a couple other places, and end up Monday nights at the Starlight Theater, which is kind of the central part of Terlingua. Great place, great restaurant, but Monday night, 2-for-1 burger night.
Yay!
So the place is packed.
Uh-huh.
Because not only are the tourists there, but the locals are there. They know when to get their money's worth. And then after that, we'd all go down to the dingiest bar then in Terlingua, which was the Boatyard. And it was run by a real curmudgeon-y guy. I never knew George's last name. Somebody knew it, but we always called him King George. And he kind of epitomized the people who lived down there.
Oh.
In that most of the people who live down there, they're not all curmudgeon-y like George, but they don't like to hang around a lot of people. And that's the point of living down there, as opposed to visiting and enjoying that gorgeous space and those interesting people, including the curmudgeons. A lot of artists go down there just so they can have that space, so they're not bothered by the rest of us. But I got to George to laugh one night because I had come down there after a show with at the Starlight and brought a few people with me, and they were wanting to party, and George didn't care as long as they were paying. But I got him to laugh because I bet a guy I could sing 5 verses of "There's a Hole in the Bottom of the Sea" without stopping, and I sang 6. And the guy was counting, and he said, "Damn. Well, I'm going to buy you 2 beers." Fine. And I got up there, and George handed me both of those beers. Opened them up, and he kind of looked at me and went, "Huh." And that was about the most. That was the most emotive thing I'd ever gotten out of George before. And then he said, "So Ken, when you coming back here?" I said, "I'm not sure. I haven't booked anything yet." He said, "Well, make sure you come back here in the wintertime." I said, "Okay, why's that?" He says, "Because I'm not here in the summertime." I took that. He was complimenting me. George was complimenting me.
Did.
I said, "What do you do in the summertime?" He says, "Oh, I got a little bed and breakfast up in Nome, Alaska."
Oh my gosh.
And he said, "If you get up there, that breakfast ain't too good either, just to let you know." He said, "George, I don't know a whole lot of people up there." He says, "I don't do this because I like people."
Oh, wow.
On my way home, I stepped on that bit just for you. Once you had a home up in the heartland, built upon a slab of solid stone, safe within the sound of your own mother's voice, till you struck out on your own. First you tossed the map out of the window, then you crossed the far side of the hill. Then you lost the will to find your way back home. And now you never will. Out here on the border, cross that muddy water. Out here on the border, Well, you finally found your way out through the Badlands, threw yourself across that muddy stream, where the questions are the answers that you've been searching for in your darkest dreams. And you run along with one foot on the wrong side, the other one is dragging in the mud. You got a smile upon your face as dark as outer space, and a fire in your blood. Out here on the border, cross that muddy water, out here on the borderline, out here on the border, ain't no law and order, out here on the borderline. You learn to keep your weapon sharp and your eyes open wide. Watch your back, watch the clouds above, running faster than the speed of the loneliness that feeds on the only life that you could ever love. Out here on the border, cross that muddy water, out here on the borderline, out here on the border, ain't no law and order, out here on the borderline, out here on the border, ain't no law and order, out here on the borderline. Always goes out to King George wherever he is these days. and you know the boat yard now it's a nice place. They fixed it up. Just damn. You need those good dingy bars to go to after everything's over. You know.
Yeah, there you go.
Did you ever go to the cellar?
I did. Yeah. Yeah. There's all kind of cool places there. Mm.
The next song that you have that you wrote, I really love this song, and it was one that you did probably when we first met you. That I was just like, oh, okay, didn't we just fall in love? Yes, I fell in love right away with you and your music.
Is it all my fault?
It's all your fault. So that's my take on your song. What's yours?
No, once again, I was studying musical forms to start that song. And I was learning a number of jazz classics, so I was using the forms on the guitar, the chord forms that were doing that, and working them out on my own. And this was the chord progression was an alternative I was learning to what I had already learned for "Ain't Misbehavin'," which is written by Fats Waller musically, and Andy Razoff wrote the lyrics to that. Everybody needs to know about Andy, too. So I'm just wanting to write what is close to what I consider a classic jazz song, using the progressions that I was learning from these masters. And also, I was studying the lyrics and lyric forms of Johnny Mercer, which I continue to study, and the way Johnny writes lyrics for singers. And the way most of them are nice and smooth, so that then they've got these nice vowel sounds that you can run out there with them. So that's really what it's all about. Other than that, it's just like, didn't we just fall in love?
Yeah, babe.
Yeah, so. And I'm going to do it in the original key.
Okay.
All right, just for you.
Impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, it might have been the night, might have been the moon, might have been the sight of other lovers in the room, might have been my imagination. Didn't we just fall in love? Could have been a sigh, could have been a song, could have been the wine to help the mood along. Could have been the combination. Didn't we just fall in love? Unless it's just some little thing I missed. Best guess it must have been the first time we kissed, with so much sweet temptation to fall in love. I should have seen it coming, should have smelled perfume, should have heard the humming of bees around the bloom, should have known that old sensation. Didn't we just fall in love? Unless it's just some little thing I missed. Best guess it must have been the first time we kissed, with so much sweet temptation to fall in love. I should have seen it coming, should have smelled perfume, should have heard the humming of bees around the bloom, should have known that old sensation. Didn't we just fall in love? Didn't we just fall in love? Didn't we just fall in love?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love that song.
Sounds like a good wedding song.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
Thank you for that too, by the way.
That was my honor and pleasure.
That was
so,
wonderful.
yeah.
Your next song, not by the Beatles, but by Ken Gaines,
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Tell us about Yesterday.
Well, kind of the hook line, it was a hook line driven song. In that we're a weird being. We are aware of time, and I don't know if other animals, other than it's time to die or whatever, are aware of time. And so for us, right now is what's going on, but we're looking forward to what we're going to do next. Like, what song am I going to do next? And that's our awareness of time. But what it's all based on where we've been, our past, and it's yesterday. And yet, unless you're a science fiction writer, we can't go back. So even though I may live another 20 years, I'll never get back to yesterday. It's further away. This morning when I woke up, it's further away from me than 20 years from now if I live that long. So that just fascinated me. So I knew that this song was probably going to be called Yesterday, which was intimidating because of McCartney's Yesterday. But, you know, a little wine.
A little liquid courage will get you anywhere.
And I wrote this for a good country singer to sing. I wanted George Jones to sing this song. Got a singable chorus. Yesterday is just an old McCartney love song. Yesterday is just a picture on the wall. And the truth is the truth will never set you free, 'cause it's just the truth that only recall. Yesterday is lost and gone forever, although you still may remember that old song. There is no place in this old world so far away as yesterday. You know, time can take the edges of our memories, just like the river takes the edges off a stone. You can go blind from staring at the sun too long, or go crazy if you live your life alone. Sing it. Yesterday is lost and gone forever, although you still may remember that old song. There is no place in this old world so far away as yesterday. Take it, Wayne. Comes that chorus. Take a big breath now. Yesterday is lost and gone forever, although you still may remember that old song. There is no place in this old world so far away as yesterday. There is no place in this old world so far away. Hold it. We're going to go minor to major to minor. As yesterday. yesterday. I'm going to tune. What's next, by the way?
Cast Your Troubles.
Okay, all right. I will have tune for that.
Please do.
This one right here is the other half of my philosophy in life, in song. And it's a daddy song. I already sang a mama song. I was in my mid-30s before I realized what a great fisherman my dad was. And that was not because my dad didn't take us fishing or go fishing with us. He did all the time. But he was always teaching us, taking us fishing. Mm-hmm. And in the process, not really spending time himself fishing. So, imagine my delight when I got to visit my parents. I was 35. Went wade fishing with Dad. Something's wrong. So I got to go fishing with Dad, and we were wade fishing down in Biloxi. This would have been August time period, and the reason I know that is that the sea nettles were hitting me.
Oh.
You know? And Dad told me, wear your long pants, I think the sea nettles are out. And I didn't. I got out there in my shorts and started wading out. And within 15 minutes, they were, I think my dad ordered them for him. But I said, all right, you're right, Dad. I'll go back up. And went back up to my van and changed into my long pants. And I'm sitting on the seawall putting my shoes on. And then the sun's coming up, and there's my daddy right in the middle of it. And I just got to watch him cast. And I watched a good 15, 20 minutes. Just watched him fish. And he was great. It was beautiful. It was a dance. And I finally said, okay, he's probably worried about me now. So I'll go down there and start fishing with him. And he said, what took you so long? And I said, tell you someday, Dad. And he taught me this kind of stuff. Now in the mirror of my mind I see my father cast his line, silhouetted in the rising sun. A single dancer in the light, a simple melody in flight. The song begins as the dance is done. Cast your troubles upon the water, let them flow into the sea. Live your life as if this morning was all the sunlight you'll ever see. When wrestling demons in the night, should I run or should I fight? Am I forgiven for the things I've done? In the quiet thunder of the dawn, I know the memory and the song, Dad and the ocean, dancing is one. Cast your troubles upon the water, let them flow into Live your life as if this morning was all the sunlight you'll ever see. As I ponder the simple graces, I find a peace that I can embrace. Cast your troubles upon the waters, live your life as if this morning was all the sunlight you'll ever see. And that was my daddy.
Love it. Well, this next song, I swear, this song is funny to me just because I was here when you did it, and Alan Hurt had only heard it for the first time.
Well, now I know what we're going to do.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
I think he said, "What the hell was
He
that?"
said that's exactly what the hell was that?
Anyway, this is your song, Razzmatazz.
Yeah. And I'm telling the truth. This is part of the story, but because we all you do this and you get these spiels to introduce your songs, and most of them are some semblance of the truth, but sometimes they're not. It's just it. It's just a spiel to say talk about your song, to introduce it and create a space in between the last song and the next song. But I like spiels. I do. I am a storyteller.
They serve ham and Biloxi.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you had to know my pawpaw. Ooh, man, he could tell stories. But this did start to be about a cool pop I took away from my little brother because I was teasing him one time. And my brother and I, we were teasing each other all the time. And I actually did take a cool pop away from him. He was getting ready to eat it. And I walked into the kitchen. He was 5. I was 8. That's a big difference. Yeah. I thought, I'm going to give me that cool pop. And he'd already opened it a whole bit. Yeah. Walked off and ate it. And he constantly introduces me as, this is my big brother Ken. He took my cool pop away from me when we were little kids. And it doesn't affect me at all. Best damn cool pop I ever had. But that's what this song started to be about, and I do get back to the cool pop eventually. But sometimes when you're writing, something else takes over, somebody else takes over, and the trick is to let it happen. And a lot of times it's in the middle of the song, and then another line comes out, and you think, wait a minute, that fits this better, and where does this go? And then it'll start tumbling out. This goes out to the memory of Ken Nordine as well. Ken Nordine created a series called Word Jazz, and he broadcast out of north of Chicago for over 50 years with his Word Jazz. And I think I own just about everything he recorded. I first heard him when I was 15 and loved him all those years. This is the type of character he would come up with. Here come old Razzmatazz. He don't like nothing but jazz. Always saying things like, yeah, crazy. He snap his finger bones. He play air slide trombone. His eyes are deep and dark and hazy. Razzmatazz, they call him Razzmatazz. Only name he has, he dress real sweet. And if it don't swing, he don't sing, 'cause he gotta have a beat. Boom, chicka papa Razzmatazz. Picture Raz with sunglasses, walking around singing. Slim by the wing on a Joseph wave. Boom, shaka laka laka, boom, ba dum, boom, boom, bow. Wow, that rhymes with wow, wow, that rhymes with how. How. Here come old Razzmatazz. He don't like nothing but jazz. Girlfriend's name is Bebop, a Lubop, a Daisy. And he go his way alone, ain't got no telephone. Always saying things like, yeah, crazy. Razzmatazz, they call him Razzmatazz. The only name he has, he got big feet. It rhymes. And if it don't swing, it don't mean a thing, 'cause you gotta have a boom, boom, boom. Razzmatazz, they call him Razzmatazz. He hails from Alcatraz. He don't eat meat. They rhyme too. And if it don't swing, it don't ring a ding, dingy ding. Gotta have a gotta have a boom, chicka boom, a chicka boom, a chicka Razzmatazz. Gotta have a do, wacka do, wacka do, wacka do, wacka do, wacka do, wacka do. Raz walk around saying things like, you know, life is like a cool pop. You remember your first cool pop? Man, I do. Patty Tate gave it to me. I was over visiting the Tate sisters. There was Patty with a big old blue one in her hand. I said, "What's that, Patty?" She said, "That's a cool pop, Kenny." I said, "Can I have one?" She said, "Sure, Kenny." Little sister Donna gave that little sister laugh, because little sisters know things. She reached in that freezer, pulled out a big old red one, put it in my little hands. I had no idea what to do with that thing, but luckily, my little sharp teeth cut through that plastic husk, and I got my first taste and went, oh yeah. I ripped that top off and took myself a proper bite, and then I took myself another proper bite, and another bite, another bite, another bite. Man, I could not get enough of that cool pop. But finally, just like all cool pops, all that was left in my little hands was that plastic husk with just a little bit of juice down there in the bottom. I could have saved it and put it back in the freezer, but that ain't what life nor cool pops is about. Turn that thing upside down, and then there I was with that empty plastic husk in my hands. Big old red smile on my face. My tongue was red. Oh, that was fine. Yeah, that was cool pop. And it gotta have a beat. Yeah. Crazy. Ken Nordine, look him up. I'm always amazed by songwriters who, early in their life, come up with stuff like that because most of us don't. It takes a while to develop that sort of freedom, and it's good to have. It's good to say, yeah, I can write a song like that, and if it falls flat, it doesn't matter. I got a lot more songs behind me that I can bring out. But there's a certain freedom to be able to write songs like that. It's usually for old farts like me. So.
And your friends accept the crazy. That's good.
Right.
It's all good.
Yes. Y'all know me pretty well, don't you?
Yes, we could really stay here all day and listen to you because you're just fantastic. And one song that you are, I think, known for, at least it affects me this way, is Catfish Moon. That's just a beautifully, wonderfully written song, music, lyrics, everything. And I'd like you to tell everybody about Catfish Moon.
Part of it came to me in a dream. I have a good friend, Laddie Sarton. He and I went to college together. We were both theater majors, and Laddie became a playwright. And decades went by, and we finally got back in touch. And he was telling me about this new play that he had written that had won all kind of regional things, and they finally took it to Lincoln Center in New York, and they performed it. And it's called Catfish Moon. So that's where I got that title. And I like people to know that. So I just thought, man, why didn't I think of that? And I slept on that title and woke up that next morning singing, it's been a catfish morning, a catfish afternoon, tonight there be a catfish moon. And I called him and said, Laddie, is it okay if I write a song called Catfish Moon? And he's from Brookhaven, Mississippi, and he's got the Brookhaven, Mississippi accent. He says, that's okay, Ken. He says, I was going to call it Moon Catfish. And says, somebody told me, no, man, that ain't going to work. How about Catfish Moon? So we both came to the same conclusion from somebody else, I guess. But
you wrote it, they didn't.
I wouldn't mind being known for Razzmatazz, but I would, if there's one song I would want to be known for, it's this one. So far. Appreciate y'all listening. And I stole a couple of licks from Jack Williams. If you ever get the chance, if you've never heard Jack Williams, please do. I just got to spend another couple of nights with him out at the Kerrville Festival before he moved on, and then I get to hear him. He's headed up my way in Oregon, so
Yay.
That's going to be fun. That one. Sunset on the river, water's all aglow. Been sitting on the spank all day, watching it flow. I got a line out in the channel, but I stopped fishing long ago. I'm just sitting, sipping whiskey real slow. There's a gator on the surface, big old catfish in his mouth. As he takes it to the bottom, my heart is sinking south. Drag me down where I don't want to go. Oh, how could she leave me so low? It's been a catfish morning, a catfish afternoon. Tonight there'll be a catfish moon. Catfish moon, waltzing on the water. Catfish moon, lazy little daughter of the sun, who's always rolling round too soon. Chorus again. Catfish moon, waltzing on the water. Catfish moon, lazy little daughter of the sun, who's always rolling round too soon. Funny how my rambling brought me right back to the spot where the fishing and the whiskey and the wind were so damn hot. We'd take a boat out on the river, throw a blanket on the bow, and make love beneath the catfish moon. What catfish moon, waltzing on the water. Catfish moon, lazy little daughter of the sun, who's always rolling round too soon. It's been a catfish morning, a catfish afternoon. Tonight there'll be a catfish moon. Thank you. Appreciate y'all listening. Thank you. Thank you so much. So anybody else got any other questions?
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. As always, you know, this is your house too. Anytime.
Yeah.
Request
I know. What you got?
real quick, since he asked for any other.
Who? What now?
I'd love for you to play Real Men, if you would.
Oh.
Let's see if I can pull that
follow
off.
up.
First song I remember from you.
Okay. Let's see if I can pull that off.
It meant a lot to a guy we know that used to play saxophone.
Yep.
Sorry, y'all.
No, that's great.
You will like it.
Well, it's about time you got working back there.
Yeah.
Because I'm not talking doesn't mean I'm not working.
Well, that's a rarity.
Yeah. He already.
I agree with that.
Okay. I got nothing. You.
He knows me too well.
Yep. Oh. Has Ike Green showed up?
No, we
Isaac-
haven't seen Ike in a long
I'm in
time.
touch with him. Yeah. He got me started on this song.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah. Every once in a while we'll have that phone conversation. He'll reach out and I'll miss him, and then I'll reach out and he won't be able to get on the phone, and we just keep going until we finally get on the phone together. And he's
Pick
a
up where you left off, brother.
yeah, he's a wonderful poet, and this got stemmed from some of our conversations, early conversations when we were hanging around each other in San Antonio. He just passed on somewhere. I'll try to give him to you. He did a video of me from way back then.
Oh, neat.
Man, I could play guitar then.
Whatever.
Huh?
You can still play guitar.
No, it's just, there's a difference. Real men don't like lawyers. Real men don't like rules. Real men would rather kick your ass than sue. Real men scare each other. Real men don't complain. Real men shoulder everybody's pain. And real men fight with the flood of their emotions. Love to watch real women walking by. Real men lose their innocence in wars across the ocean. Real men think their fathers never die. No, they just can't seem to tell that man goodbye. Real men don't ask directions, so they stand out in the cold. Real men need real women more than gold. Real men don't say nigger, and real men don't say die. Real men love their babies more than Jesus. And real men lay their dreams aside in quiet desperation. Learn to build a wall around their hearts. Real men long to live their lives in love and contemplation, but they just can't find a place and time to start. When their daughters up and married, and their sons are old enough to be men too, but mostly all alone at night with a burden that they carry, 'cause this world just won't let them do. What a real man's gotta do. Thank you.
That was the cherry on top of this beautiful Sunday. Thank you so much. And I also want to thank our studio audience who came out to see you today.
Me too.
Our Facebook audience that's been watching, and the many more people that are going to see this. Mm-hmm. And most of all, thank you for who you are. And we look forward to hearing more from you and having you back.
See you next year.
All right. You're in the music room.
In the plan, yeah. We're already working on it, so. All right. Thanks. Thank you.